Right. Hi, Banputa. So you all welcome to the grade 10 theory class. Um, so we are in, we finished the logarithm lesson totally. So today we have the graph lesson, right? Graph lesson. Can anyone tell me whether we started the graph lesson or not? The one part is started or not? Or not? Right. So we will. We did started by last week the graph part. Did we started the straight line? We didn't start, right? Did not. Yes. Okay. Write down the topic. This is very good lesson, which having 12 marks in the O-level paper, right? 12 marks. So 2 marks for the first paper and second paper, 10-mark questions, right? So everyone write down the graph lesson. So under the graph lesson, write down first the straight line graphs, right? First we will discuss the straight line graphs or the graph of a functions with the form of y equal mx plus c. You can write the graphs of a function y equal mx plus c, y equal mx plus c. So we are going to discuss this type of graph first. So this is the 2-mark question. Okay, this is the 2-mark questions in the exam coming under the straight line graph part. Okay, Putta. Right. Thank you very much for your feedbacks regarding the paper tuition. Right. So everyone will have the confidence when we continue the papers as well as theories. Here we delay in the theory class due to some long sessions are there in the graph session, but we will recover that delay soon by making an additional class. I will quickly complete the second terms, then we can move to the third term very fast, and then all the things will be aligned. Okay, right. Now we are discussing a graph of a function y equal mx plus c. So this is called the equation of the graph, right? This is the equation of the graph. This is function. Okay, so y equal mx plus c. So that is a relationship between x and y. Okay, so what is the m here? So understand this lesson very well, right? O-level base paper, y equal mx plus c. So what is the m here? M is defined as the gradient of the graphs. Gradient. Okay, then what is c? C is called the intercept of the graph. Intercept. Then I will give an idea what is gradient of the graph. Okay, right, y equal mx plus c. So this is the gradient. Gradient is a constant value, right? For a certain graph, the gradient is constant if it is in the form of y equal mx plus c. So here the gradient shall be a constant. M is a constant, and here the intercept also a constant for a specific graph. But when the graph is changing, the gradient and the intercept would be varied. Okay, fine. Then I will explain what is the gradient. So if I write a subtopic gradient, don't write anything, just see. Gradient is like the inclination. It is like the inclination of the graph, right, with x positive direction. Imagine in that way, but that is not the actual definition. If inclination more means the gradient more, right? But actually, the tan value of that inclination is defined as the gradient. So in grade 11, we do the trigonometry. Then we will learn what is tan value. So if the grade, if inclination is more, now it is more inclination. Now it is more inclination, right, with the x positive axis. Now you can see if the inclination is more, the gradient becomes more. Okay, but when it comes to the obtuse angle, right, when the graph make as an obtuse angle, right, then we call the gradient is negative. Gradient is negative, right? When it has acute angle, the gradient is positive, but when the acute is increasing, the gradient is increasing the positive value. But when it comes to the obtuse angle, the gradient becomes negative. Okay, right. That's the basic idea. We will define exactly what is the gradient later, but at the moment understand, when you see a graph in this direction, this way, that is the positive gradient. If gradient more, positive more, like positive 1, positive 2, positive 3, positive 4. The inclination means puta the angle between the x-axis. Anati api kyan inclination negative. Angle with the x-axis. Angle negative tama inclination kyan, right? Okay, so this is theta, right, getting more the increase value gradient. Then it comes more than 90-degree, becomes the negative gradient. So here we have positive gradients, m positive, m positive, m positive, but here m becomes negative, right? Okay, remember that idea. Then how to find the gradient of a graph? This is how you do it. Here x and here y. So if I draw a certain line, right, I required 2 points to find the gradients. How many points you require? 2 points. So I take a point. This is P1 having coordinate x1 comma y1. And here I have another point P2 coordinate x2 comma y2. Coordinate is x2 comma y2. Everyone concentrate and see very well. So I mark here x1 means the x coordinate here x1, this distance from the origin x1, and the y coordinate is y1. This height is y1. That is done. Then I move to the P2 points, that is x2 comma y2. That means here to here this distance x2, okay, and then here to here this distance y2. Okay, but then how to find the gradient? So I make a right angle triangle this way. You can see this is the right angle triangle I create. Right, this as hypotenuse P1, P2, I make this right angle triangle. Okay, then you can see this is the right angle triangle. Then what is the gradient? Gradient is defined as this vertical height divided by the horizontal length. So what is the vertical height? So I check here. M is vertical height. Vertical height is this height. See how to take that height? Here to here y2, here to here y1. Okay, then what is the net height here? Y2 subtract this y1. So I can write m equal y2 subtract y1 divide by the horizontal length. Actually, the tan value we are taking, this vertical height divided by horizontal length. This is triangle, that is tan alpha, tan theta, if I get this angle theta. So now what is the here length? X2 is total and here x1. So then here x2 minus x1. So it comes as x2 minus x1. Okay, fine. So what is the gradient definition now? Y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. In simply, when you have two points, then how to take the gradient as per this equation? Y coordinate difference divided by the x coordinate difference. Y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus xy, so x1. So as gradient, the general equations for gradient equal, when you consider 2 points, then y coordinate difference, y coordinate difference divide by the x coordinate difference, coordinate difference. Okay, write down these notes. Right, starting here, write down this first and then second, and then take this general equation. So intercept m represent the gradient. So m is the gradient, that is not starting letter with g, but representation m for the gradient. M is gradient of the graph. Okay, write down everyone. So the remember y coordinate difference over x coordinate difference. So simply this is the logic. I come to the intercept later. So what is the gradient? Gradient is like the angle between the x-axis. That is actually not the angle, but the tan value of that angle, right? When the inclination angle more, gradient more, but it is acute angle only, the gradient positive. If it becomes negative, that means it creates obtuse angles with x positive direction. Okay, then how to find the gradient in simple manner? You should have 2 points. In the 2 points, check the y difference, y coordinate difference, divide by the x coordinate difference, y over x in simply. Okay, right. Write down the notes. Right. Right. Once you finish, you can raise your hand. So that is the definition. So how to find the gradient? In the exam, they ask in O-level paper 1, right, of a straight line, how to find the gradients? Just y difference over x difference. Okay, but that right, finish doing? I think so. If not, tell me. So you can ask any questions. Right. So now tell me, what are the information you required to find the gradient? You required 2 points if you do not know the equation of the straight line. But if you know the equation of the straight line, we can find using the equation exactly the gradient. Okay. Right. Before we move to the other things, the calculation, I introduce you the intercept. Right. Subtopic intercept. Intercept. So intercept definition is this one: when a straight line graph cut the y-axis. So this is the y-axis, this is the x-axis, right? So this is imagine y equal 2x plus 3. Okay, I generally take I equal y equal mx plus c. So c is the intercept. Intercept means where the graph cut the y-axis. So this is the y-axis. So the graph coming here and cut the y-axis there. So this height is the intercept. So that is indicated as plus c. So this is the intercept. Okay, understand? Where the graph cut the y-axis. That is called actually the y-intercept. If you do the math further, then we have also x-intercept. X-intercept means we are cut the x-axis, but here for the straight line graph, here C is the y-intercept, where it cut the y-axis, not the x. So here that is positive 6, C is the intercept. So what happened if they pass through the origin? Origin means this, right? So at that, what is the intercept? Intercept is 0, where I cut the y-axis at 0. So then what happened? Y equal, imagine these two is parallel, right? Then here the gradient same mx, right? If two lines are parallel, their gradients equal. Why? They having the same inclination with the x-axis. So mx, but here c becomes 0. Why? It passes through the origin, then at origin y value is 0, y cutting value is 0. Remember, for the equation, straight lines which passes through the origin have the form of y equal mx, not c there. Why c became 0? Right. Then if any graph running through the this way having negative intercept, maybe like negative c, negative value maybe negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, whatever, that is having a negative intercept. Okay, so by looking into a graph, how to determine the intercept? Just take the y cutting point where the graph intersect with the y-axis, that y value is the intercept. Okay, draw this one. By the sketch you can identify. Remember the y value where the graph intersect with y-axis, y-axis. Right. Okay, now we move to the
Sir, can't hear.
right. I think now it is okay. Okay, fine. Thank you. Um, okay, now we will see this question. This is 2 mark question of the O-level paper. We have lines, straight line, segment, කොටසක් විතරයි. So here we have 2, 1 and 5, 3. Okay. First example, find in the gradient, here x and here y. Don't write. See there x, y, and here 1, 2 and 4, 5. 1, 2, here is 4, 5. See Puta. So what is the equation for finding the gradient? Now everyone tell me the y coordinate difference over the x coordinate difference, right? So I can write m equal y over x, y difference over x difference, but that is not required to write the equation, not mandatory. You can find how, see there how to write it, how to take it. The y difference, so the top part not visible, right? Okay, y difference subtracts the x difference. So here the x1, x coordinate x1, y1, and here the x2, y2. No need to label that one. So check whatever y value. So here I take the y value 3, second value is the y. Here y value is 1. So I take the subtraction in this direction, y subtraction. So 3, put the subtract mark, and then here y value 1. Divide by the x difference. How to take the x difference? If you choose in this direction x by subtraction, the same direction x to be subtracted. So x shall also start with 5. Then 5 subtract here x, that is 2. Understood? You got y difference over x difference. If you choose a certain y to this direction, x also same direction. But if you choose y here and x here, cannot, right? If then the answer would be incorrect. Okay, you can choose whatever method, whatever path, you can subtract here to here, but x also here to here, right? Then I take m equal 3 minus 1, 2, 5 minus 2, 3. Okay, then answer gives you 2 upon 3. That is the gradient. Now you feel that is a positive gradient. Yes, that is why the graph is in this way, in this direction, acute angle. Understood? Right. Now m equal y difference of x difference. How to take it? Y difference I take here to here. 5 subtract 2. Right. Divide by x difference. X subtract 4 subtract 1. If I subtract 2 means 3, 4 subtract 1 also 3. Then 3 divided by 3 means 1. This is how you find the gradient. Okay, you require 2 points and then you can find the gradients y difference of x difference. Okay, do it. If any questions, you can ask. And you know how the equation comes. A equation is there for the first quadrant. First quadrant, how many quadrants there are? 1, 2, 3, 4. But the equation given for the first quadrant, right, in the O-level paper. That's the essential learning concepts define you. Okay, then I will further explain it. So here now you have 2, 3, and here 5, 5. That's why right. Find the gradient and drop me a message. What is the gradient there? If any doubts, ask, right? Any questions? Right. Once you finish, raise your hand. Right. We will check here M. Right. Third question, M equal Y difference of X difference. Right. So 5 subtracts 3 upon 5 subtract 2. So that gives you 2 upon 3. Okay, 2 upon 3. Y difference of X difference. So the last one, M equal. Okay, here to here, Y difference. I take 3 minus 1 upon 1 minus 3. 3 minus 1 is 2 upon 1 minus 2 minus 2. Carefully there. You cannot see that. Right. Well, 3 minus 1. 2 upon 1 minus 3 negative 2. So 2 upon 2 that is negative 1. 2 upon 2 negative 1. Hands up those who got the answer. Right. So now looking into the graph also, you can see how all these graphs are acute angle, right? But here you can see that is obtuse angle with x-axis. So if it is obtuse angle, you feel that the gradient should be negative. Yes, that gradient gives you negative value, negative 1. But all others, you can see the gradient are positive. But here it comes negative. Okay. Okay, right. Now we move to the next part, right? So now they mention like a graph is passed through this point and find the gradient. Is it always like this obtuse angle? It's negative. Yes, if it is obtuse angle, that is negative gradient. Like the graph is in this way. You can see the graphs in this way with the x-axis, positive x-axis. If the graph is making an obtuse angle, the gradient is negative. Before, once you see the graph, you can see that this is negative. If it is acute angle, right, then the graph is positive. Here also positive. Right. Okay, fine. Now these are the bit advanced question, right? Two advanced questions given. Write down the next one. A graph, a straight line graph, a straight line graph passes through. So now it is not drawn, given, passes through the points 0, 3 and 2, 5. Then find its gradient. First question. The second one, a straight line having intercept passes through, having intercept 2 passes through the point 2, 4, then find its gradient. මෙන්න අහන්න පුළුවන් අමාරුම ප්‍රශ්න තුනක්. Gradient. Then part 3. Here yx. This is came in the O-level paper, this question now. Here it is given 3 and here it is given 2 only. Okay, then the fourth one, yx, and here it is given 1 and here it is given 4, 5. Right. Draw these three equations and we will discuss.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, can you please turn the cam for like right a little bit?
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Right. So I will help you. Right. First question. A straight line graph passes through the point. So finding the gradient, we require 2 points. Okay. So here 0, 3 and 2, 5 given. 0, 3 and 2, 5 given. So you can find out the gradients. 2 point is known. Right. Tell me the answer. Right. So we do not know how the points, no need to draw even. Just I mark for your reference 0, 3, 2, 5. So how to find the gradient? The y difference over the x difference. Right. Take to a direction m equal. See there, 5 subtract 3 divide by 2 subtract 0. So 5 subtract 3 means 2, 2 subtract 0 means also 2. Then 2 divided by 2, what is the answer? Gradient is 1. And sub those who got the answer. Right. If any question, ask. So y difference over x difference. Right. Then the straight line having intercept 2 passes through the point 2, 4. What's the case? Just 1 point directly given and intercept given. Then what I told you, to make gradient, we require 2 points. Then what happened? Now I will tell you what happened there. Intercept mean what? You know that intercept means where the graph cut the y-axis, that y value. So what is the y value then? Intercept 2 means this height is 2. Y coordinate of this point is 2. Then at the intercept, that means the y cut-in value. So at the y cut-in value, what is the x coordinate? Always 0. On the y-axis, x coordinate is 0. Then here y intercept is 2, then y cutting 2. Then what about its x coordinate? Always 0. That's the point you need to remember. Okay. So what is the concept again? Intercept means the y cutting value. That y value at that point is 2. Always on the y-axis, x coordinate 0. So what is the format of intercept coordinate? If intercept 5, what is the coordinate of that? 0, 5. If intersects -1, what is the coordinate? 0, -1. If intercept 0, 0, 0. If intercept flower, 0, flower. Right, that's the concept. Okay, so now you converted as a coordinate. Remember how to convert as a coordinate. Okay, now here it passes through the other points 2, 4. Now we converted as 2 points. Now check the gradient. Gradient equal y difference over x difference. So here y4, here y2. So 4 subtract 2 divide by 2 subtract 0. Right, 4 divide by 2, 2, 2 2 subtract 2, 2. 2 divided by 2, that is 2. Sorry, 1. Understood? What is the concept you need to remember? Intercept given means a coordinate given. How to find the coordinate? Intercept is 5, then 0, comma 5 is the coordinate of that point. Right? Correct it. Right. Now we go to this. This is an O level questions given. Can you do it? If anyone completed, send me the answer for the third one. This is given in the O level paper. Previous O level paper, the point would be varied, but this is a question given there. So no points given, you have to convert it as points, 2 points. Right. So here it is given 3 and here it is given 2. Okay. Now we converted. Now we converted as 2 points. How you do it? See there, here 3, here 2. And now remember, here the y-axis cut-in point. At that point, what is the x-coordinate? See, to connect to the x-coordinate. So the x value is 0. So now I converted this 3 as a point. How? Here y cutting value, y-axis cutting means y coordinate there. Y cutting, y coordinate given 3. Then what about the x coordinate? Connect to the x-axis, that is 0. Then 0, comma 3. Okay. Then check there, that is actually called the x-intercept. So how to find the x-intercept? Coordinate as a coordinate. Here x-axis. So x-axis cutting means x coordinate. X cut x coordinate. So x coordinate 2. Then what about the y coordinate? Connect that point to the y-axis and see y value is 0. ලේසියට මතක ගන්න. ඕක ළමයි වරද්දන්නේ මේක ලියා ගන්නවා 0,2 කියලා මාරු කරලා. Totally mistakes. Right. So the answer wouldn't be taken. Okay, understood how to write it without any discrepancy. So y cutting, y-axis mean check y value given, y coordinate. At x-axis mean x value given. So the other opposition is 0. In y-axis opposition x0. In x-axis y0. That's it. Okay, now you convert it as 2 coordinates and then write the equation m equal y difference. You take into this direction 3 minus 0 upon x difference 0 minus 2. Now it becomes 3 upon negative 2. That means negative 3 upon 2. You can make a decimal or fraction mode. And further you got that here negative gradient. Yes, fine, because the graph is in this way. Make an acute obtuse angle with the x-axis. That idea also you have to take. Right. Dagan.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, how did you put the subtract mark to the top?
Yes. Normally, plus divide by negative. It may be here or here at a common. No problem. Plus divide by minus. Then it becomes minus. Right. I wrote minus generally here. You can put on the top or bottom or at front. That's no harm to the answer. Answer is negative.
Sir, can't we simplify the answer?
Yes, you can. You can make as an improper, sorry, mixed number. This is improper fractions. You can write as minus 1.5, or you can write as a decimal minus 1.5 or 5.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Right. Right. That is done. Now we move to the next one. Here 4, 5, here 1. Now you know how to convert this one as a coordinate. Tell everyone. X coordinate is what, Puta? 0. Y coordinate 1. 0, 1. Okay. Now you have 2 points. Just find the equation. M equal. Write y difference of x difference. So 5 subtract 1 upon 4 subtract 0. Okay. Then write 4 upon 4. That gives you 1. So the gradient is 1. Okay, now I expand the equation here. So I ask write the equation of the straight line for both. Right, make a gradient here, find the gradient first. Then as a part 2 equation, find the equation of the straight line. Write down. For this equation also below that, find the equation of the straight line. And here also find the equation of the straight line. Find the equation of the straight line. Right. To find the equation, we require two things. What are they? The gradient and the intercept. Gradient is found you for both. Then check the intercept by looking into the graph and write the equation. Try to get the answer. Right. Give me the answers, Puta. Those who completed. Right. So how to find the equations, Puta? Now here m found. See there, m equal negative 3 upon 2 as a fraction. So now what is the c? How to find the c? C is the y cut-in value. So y-axis cut-in point you need to y. So here y cut-in value is 3. So that is the intercept. So how to write the equation? Y equal mx plus c. Okay, then y equal, for m you substitute minus 3 upon 2, x plus c is plus 3, plus 3. Okay, so m x plus 3 c. Okay, any questions you can ask. So the next one, so y equal mx plus c. What is the m there? M equal 1x plus c. C is 1 there. C is 1. So x plus 1. Y equal x plus 1. Right. Okay, everyone. Right. Right. මේ ගණන් දෙක හදමු අපි එනවා. Right. ඔයාලා හදන්න ඕනේ තනියම. මේක ලකුණු දෙකේ ප්‍රශ්නේ අනිවාර්යෙන් එන all level paper එකට. Right. grade 10 එකටත් එනවා term test වලට එනවා. Right. A straight line, write down a straight line having intercept also passes through the point 3,8. Find its equation. Right. Right. බලන්න උත්තරේ දාන්න හදලා. Right. Send me the answer. How to find it? Right. A straight line having intercept 5 also passes through the point 3,8. Find its gradient. So how to do this one? So you have to make this intercept as a coordinate first, then one coordinate there and here another coordinate. You can find using the two coordinates the gradient, then intercept directly given, then you can find the equation. How to do now? Intercept 5 means the coordinate 0, comma 5, and here we have 3, comma 8 coordinate. Okay, then you can take the answer. How the gradient equal, right, y difference of x difference. How to take the y difference? Here 8 subtract 5 I take, they are divide by 3 subtract 0. Then 8 subtract 5 means 3, 3 divided by 3 means 1. So gradient equal 1. Then what is the equation? Y equal mx plus c. To write m as 1x, 1x, 1 no need to write 1x or x similar, plus c, c is 5, c is 5, x plus 5. If you write 1x plus 5, that is also fine, but y equal x plus 5, gradient 1 and intercept 5. Hands up those who got the answer. Right, that is done, right? It well done. Right. එහෙනම් ඔයාලට දැන් ඒකෙන් එන ප්‍රශ්නේ අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම හදන්න පුළුවන්. Right. O level papers ටික අරන් බලන්න 2016 to 2023. The first paper graph equations you can find, but we have another subpart of this when the equations given how to find the gradient and intercept. That is very easy. We did the hardest part first. Right. Right, we will write down subtopic, finding the gradient and intercept, gradient and intercept of a function when the equation is, when the function is given. Okay, Putta, right. So now the equation given as first one, find the gradient and intercept of this. Y equal 3x plus 2. Then we have y equal negative 2x plus 1. Then we have y equal x minus 1. Then here we have 2y equal 3x plus 2. Then here we have 3y equal negative 2x plus 1. Then sixth one, y upon 3 equal 2x minus 1. Then seventh one, 2x plus 3y plus 2 equal 0. Right. You can do this. You can do any equations in the O-level paper when the equations are given. Right. Understand here. So to give the gradient and the intercept, okay, when the equation given, the equation must be in the form of y equal mx plus c. What is the form should be? Y equal mx plus c. This is the format. Y equal mx plus c. එහෙනම් ඉන්න ඕනේ format එක මොකද්ද? mx plus c. එතකොට මේකේ y equal වෙලා තියෙන්න ඕනේ. Y to be subjected. If y not being subjected, the first step y to be subjected. Okay, then how to deal here? You check y is subjected or not. Yes, y subjected, y equal there. Then x coefficient is the gradient, the other constant is the intercept. Okay, what is the x coefficient here? Front value of x, that is 3. So now you can find m equal 3, and what is the intercept? C equal plus 2. So m equal 3 and c equal plus 2. Okay, understood? X coefficient is the gradient, m is symbol for gradient, m equal 3, c equal plus 2. So here y equals there, here's fine, then m equal, right, negative 2, with the sign you have to take negative 2, and intercept equal positive 1. Here y equal there, yes, find m equal x coefficient. X means what, Puta? 1x there, 1x, 1 there. So x coefficient is 1 and c is negative 1. So m equal 1, c is negative 1. So now check here, 2y equal 3x plus 2. Just divide all the terms by 2. So divide by 2 all the terms. Why? It is not y being subjected. I get to the next step. So I take divide by 2 all the terms by 2. What the reason? To make y subject. Now 2 cancelled here. Y equal, now y equal 3 upon 2 as a fraction plus 2 upon 2 you can take as 1. Now what is the gradient? Gradient equal x coefficient, that is 3 upon 2, y coefficient, the intercept is 1, is equal 1. So these are the two results, M and C. Okay, understood? Y to be subjected. Remember that concept. Okay, complete the others. Y to be subjected here. Why not being subjected? Why not being subjected? Why not being subjected? That's why we learn that subjecting formula, right? Lessons also. Okay, Pratap, write down and then take the answer for last 3 and send me the answers. Okay, Pratap, complete it and send me the answers. Hands up those who completed. Okay, well done. Right. See here. Right. Now we check this one. So y to be subjected here 3y there. So 3y equal negative 2x plus 1. So you take it, then divide by 3 all the terms because 3 into y there. So divide by 3 here, divide by 3 here, divide by 3. 3 cancelled. Then y equal 2 upon 3x plus 1 upon 3. Okay, now what is the gradient and intercept? The gradient is the x coefficient, that is negative 2 upon 3. As a fraction mode, keep it as this one. Don't make decimals because that is recurring decimals, right? Not ending decimal, then you will be in a trouble to give the values. Just give it as a fraction in simplest form. Okay, then C is the plus 1 upon 3. Hands up those who got these two answers. Negative 2 upon 3 and 1 upon 3 as the intercept. Great. හරි. හරියටම සෙට් වෙන්න පුතා සබ්ජෙක්ට් එක හොඳ ආසාවෙන් ඉගෙන ගන්න. right. හොඳ ආසාවෙන් වැඩ කරන්න. දැන් පේපර් ක්ලාස් එකටත් ගොඩක් අය සම්බන්ධ වෙනවා. ඉතින් මේ ඒ ටික කරන් ගියොත් හරියටම මේ ඇත්තටම අපිට මැත්ස් කියන්නේ ගේම් එකක් නෙමෙයි. right. හරියටම මම කියන්නේ ලකුණු 100ටම achieve කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ නිසා හැමෝම එහෙම මේ chance එකක් බලන්න. right. කියන්නේ එහෙම අදිෂ්ඨානකින් වැඩ ටික කරන්න. මේ අවුරුදු කමාර වගේ දැත්තේ කමාරකුත් නැහැ. ඒ නිසා දැන් 10යි third term එකට යන්නේ. තව third terms 3යි 1යි 4යි ඔක්කොම total. නිසා පරිමෙන්ම වැඩේ දෙන්න. හරි. So now that is fine. Now we move to the question 6 there, y upon 3 there. Okay, then y upon 3 equal 2x minus 1. So here division 3 there. So how to eliminate division 3 with multiplications 3 all the terms. Here division 3 there, multiply 3. How to eliminate division 3 with multiplication 3. But you cannot multiply only one terms. All the terms in the form function to be multiplied. So equal 2x into 3 minus 1 into 3. All the terms by 3 you multiply. Okay, then 3 cancelled. Then y equal 2 into 3, 6x minus 3 into 1, 3. Now it is y equals 6x minus 3. Okay, now you can find the gradient, the x coefficient by y is subjected. So m equals 6 and the c equal negative 3. So this is the answer. Okay, hands up those who got the answer for the sixth question. Okay, well done. So now we are moving to the last question. There are 2x plus 3y plus 2 equals 0. See there. Now here all the terms at the side, but you need to bring right y subject. How? Bring all the other terms to the other side. Here these two pass to the other sides. Then 3y there. Pass this 2x. The sign is changed. Here plus 2x goes to there. It becomes minus 2x. And here plus 2 there. Then that becomes minus 2. Okay, now 3y there. Again, not being subjected. So what you do, the next step, divide by 3 all the terms. In 3 cancelled, then y equal negative 2 upon 3x, negative 2 upon 3. Okay, then how to take the x coefficient? The gradient is the x coefficient. This is x and coefficient is totally this negative 2 upon 3. Intercept also negative 2 upon 3. Right, hands up those who got the answer. Okay, when the equation given, now you can find out the values of x and y. Right. Okay. Okay, Bhutar. That's the major content of the straight line graphs. So what are the equations they ask in the exam? See, as a conclusion, uh, they will ask to find the gradients when 2 points given. They will ask to find the intercept. They will ask to find the equations and further the gradient and the equations. Okay, or directly the equation. But to find the equation, you require two things: the M and C, M comma C. However, you have to find MC, and then only you can give the equation. Okay. Then the other type equations like the equation given and asking the MNC just need to subject the y and x coefficient gradient and the other one as the intercept. Okay. So that are the equations given there. So that is the conclusion of a straight line graph. Now we move to the parabola, the second part, especially learned in grade 10. That question is for the second paper questions. This is for the first paper, 2 marks question, because we are in a hurry situation. So that's why I start this part also today. Right, everyone write down the topic. So today I will show you how to draw the graph correctly. Okay, fine.
Sir, what is the topic?
Yes, let me write down graph of the functions of the form of, write down graph of the function of functions y equal x squared. Right. So if you have a graph book, okay, or graph paper, right, you can use it. You must use it because this graph is drawn in a graph paper, standard graph paper. In your home, if you can find out the graph paper, quickly bring it. And if you have the graph book, use that book. So I prefer if you can use a graph book instead of individual papers. Right, in the bookshops you can buy a graph book. Maybe 40-page graph book is sufficient. So if you do not have today, but next day, arrange the graph book, because we have to draw and discuss, because this part lesson is very important. O-level paper 12 marks, as I mentioned, 10 marks for the second paper question, and first question 2 marks. We covered 2 marks. Now you can see any questions in the first paper, you can do it. Okay, now what is this type of graph? Previously we discussed y equal mx plus c, right? That is not having square terms, just a linear form, right? Mx plus c, the x maximum power was 1. But now here it becomes the power 2, x power 2 terms there. Whenever we have x power 2 term, that is gives you a parabola graph. parabola. What is the parabola shapes? Like these shapes or these shapes would be there in the exam. Okay, we call this is a minimum shape graph and we call this is a maximum shape graph. So now you are receiving this type of graphs. To draw the straight line graphs, minimum 2 points is sufficient to draw. But to draw this type of graphs, 2 points are not sufficient. You should have several points to make accurate parabola. Okay, so here also the same procedure. The coordinate incomplete point table given, then you have to find the corresponding coordinates and then you plot the graph. So today I will teach you how to plot the graph correctly, right? Okay, take the graph paper with you if you have now. Okay, now write down the first graphs we are going to plot. Y equal x squared, y equal x squared is the graph we are going to plot. First, in your graph book, if you have put y equal x squared, you have in a graph book, you have a page for the writing and page for the graph. Writing page, you write this equation. Right. Then this is the incomplete point table that is given in the exam. Right. They may fill up some points and you are asked to fill the balance. -3, -2, -1, here 0, +1, +2, +3. Although don't write, although the very first lesson, very first graph we draw, I will teach you how to plot and how to draw accurately without any mistakes. Okay, and now imagine here the values given. I will tell you how to take the values. Right. So they have given the point table in the exam and they will ask to complete these two values. Means they will ask find the value of y when x equal -1 and find the value of y when x equal 3. So how to find the x and y value when the x given? That is the relationship of this function. So using this equation, right, we can find out any y value when the x coordinates are given. So what you need to do, just substitute the y value into the equation, the function, right? Then you can take the x value. So how to take? So the first coordinate, how you find? When x equal -1, you choose y equal x squared, then you write, substitute for x as -1. So -1 perfect square. -1 squared means 1. -1 into -1, that is +1. Okay, the next one, when x equal +3, how to find the value y? X equal 3, then how to find y? Y equal x squared, then write x as +3, 3 squared, then y equal 3 squared is 9. Y equal 9. Okay, right. So these are the two values corresponding to the given x value. And further, these coordinate also taken with the same principle, just x -3 squared +9, -2 squared +4. Okay, then I fill up here 1 and here 9. So further now I will show you what are the specialties of this point table. What are the specialties here? Right. See the point table from the two corners, here 9 y value and here also 9. Here 4 and here 4. Here 1, here 1, here only the 0. Now you can see from this y value 0, the two sides are balanced. Like we call, there is a symmetry of the point table. So imagine if any students cannot substitute or he do not know how to find substitute and find the value, but here 9, then here he feels that there should be 9, but that may not at all the time. If the graph is not a symmetrical graph, sometimes we have seen like this part only, rarely this happen, then this coordinate not available. Okay, but most of the times the graph point table have the symmetry. 9, 9. Then if it is 4, 4, 4, 1, 1. See that symmetry. Okay, using that symmetry also we have some questions in some papers. Okay, right. For first, complete this two. May complete Karagan. This is the first part of the graph. Right. Once you finish, raise your hand. Point table. Right. Okay, that is fine. Now we have the point table. Now take the graph sheets. So I will show you with the graph. Right. I will show you a graph paper. See there. Right. So here, check this one first. This is your idea. You should have this idea. If you take a standard graph paper, if you have now count, this is the graph paper, you can see that small, this is how if I expand, small 5 square, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 square by 5 square, you have the lines. Okay, 5 square by 5 square. Okay, then how many 10 square units. 10 square means 5 two parts. This 2 line 5 square, 2 lines 5 square, 5 square. So tell me 10 square units. 10 square. 10 square units. How many along this x direction? මේ අතට 10 square කොටස් කීයක් තියෙනවද කියලා count කරන්න. Everyone. 10 square, how many units are there? Yes, how many units? 10 square, 9 units there. Yes, 9 big ones. Yes. So here we have 10 square, 9 units. Remember that to the x direction. For the y direction, we have, yes, then 5 square units, 18, twice of that. So to the y direction, see there, you have 10 square, around 13 units. 13 units, then 5 square, how much? 26. ඔන්න ඔය දෙක හොඳට ඔළුවේ තියෙන්න ඕනේ graph එක හදද්දි. ඕවා ගැන idea නැහැ සමහරුන්ට. ඔය නිකන් ඇඳලා graph එක ඇඳලා එනවා. ඊට හරියට වඳින අයත් ඉන්නවා. වැරදි ඊට පස්සේ මකනවා. ඊට පස්සේ ඕකේ මැකින්නෙත් නැහැ. සමහරු පෙළ ගාලා ඕක මකනවා. මැකපු ගමන් කොලේ ඉරිලා යනවා. ඊට පස්සේ සමහරු graph එක හදන්නෙත් නැහැ. ආයි examiner එකෙන් කොලයක් ඉල්ලන්න බැරි කමට. roll paper එකේ graph sheet එක හම්බෙනවා. right එකයි එකක් දෙන්නේ. ඒකේ අපි හරියට මේක වැඩේ කරන්න ඕන. ඒ නිසා ඒක හරියට නොකරොත් වෙන්නේ අපිට graph එක ඇඳ ගන්න බැරුව යනවා. මකන්න ගියොත් මේක අවුල් යනවා. මොකද පැන්සලෙන් සමහරව තියෙන උපරිම වීර්යය දාලානේ අඳින්නේ තායි. හරි. ඒ නිසා මේක හරියට තේරුම් ගන්න. So 10 square 13 units, here 10 square 9 units. හරිනේ. Right. එතකොට 5 square ගත්තොත් 26, 5 square ගත්තොත් 18. Right. Now that idea is fine. Now you decide. So in the exam, sometimes they give the scale. Use this scale to the x-axis and y-axis, this is scale. But when the scale is not given, they are asking using a suitable scale. Then you must decide it. How to decide the suitable scale? So you check the x coordinates. See everyone. X coordinate, positive 3 coordinates, negative 3 coordinates. You count how many x coordinates are there. Here to here x coordinate, how many totally? 6. Now you feel that in your mind, 10 square, how many units you can draw along the x-axis? How many 10 square units? You have 9 totally. Then 6 is less than 9. Then you can choose 10 square as 1 unit. Some students will ask, sir, then why we can 5 square unit also can use? Yes, we can. But if you use the smaller scale, the graph paper is this much. Your graph is very small, right? But all the times, make a complete graph using the full paper, right? පැහැදිලි? එකයි අපි හරිම scale එක තෝර ගන්න ඕනේ. That's fine. X as versus 10 square 1 unit. Okay, then y scale, how to decide? You check y, how many total parts there are. Check both terminal, positive and negative. Positive terminal 9 and all are positive values, not negative values there. So that means the y direction we have the maximum 9 units, negative nothing. So that means y direction and 9 units there. So if you pass through the 10 square units, 10 square as 1 unit, you have 13 units. So that is less than 13. And then for y direction also, for y axis also, you can use 10 square as 1 unit. Understood? So x axis 10 square, 10 small square as 1 unit. Y axis, along y axis 10 square 1 unit. This is how you decide. Imagine if you, yes.
So in the y-axis, we only have 12 10 squares, right?
12. In some graph sheets that would be vary. Some are having 12, 13, but whatever you can use this 9, right? That is within the range. Okay, right. So this is how you decide it. Now you plot the axis. ඔන්න බලන්න plot කරන විදියත් සමහරු මේ plot කරන විදියත් වරද්දනවා axis වැරදියට ගැහුවොත් ආයෙ මකක් වෙනවා. So this is my paper. See there. I erase this one. I think you plot the table. Y -3 +9 -2 +4 -1 +1 0 0 1 1 2 4 3 9. Okay, now I erase it and I make the graph. Now anyone having any doubts regarding the selecting scale? Because in some papers we have seen this asks you to decide the scale, then you have to choose the correct scale. Right, so now you have the graph paper, this much of graph paper. Imagine this is the graph paper size you have. Okay, මේක හරියට මෙගන ගන්න ආයේ 11ත් මේකම තමයි ඉතින්. Right, this is the graph paper size. Now you first decided the scales for x and y, both 10 small squares as 1 unit. And other things, do we need the same scale along x and y? No. Sometimes y we have to take 5 squares 1 unit, x 10 squares 1 unit, no problem. Some students think that both x and y to be equal. No, right? But along the x-axis, the same scale to be followed. Along the y, positive and negative direction, the same scale to be followed. Okay, right. Now we take y. Now I am going to plot the y and x-axis. Firstly, I plot the y-axis. See there how to plot the y-axis. I plot the y-axis. I look into the x coordinate. Now see the x -3, the negative coordinate sides, the positive side +3. That means I feel that -3, +3, both sides having same distance. So then I can plot the y-axis at middle of the paper, because the right side, left side having equal number of coordinates there. Imagine here, like if we have -2 only, but some graphs we have +6, 4, 5, then positive parts more. Then you plot the y-axis left line. Why? We required positive direction, so many coordinates. If having more negative, the y-axis should be in this way. Okay, right, understand. Now I plot exactly middle. Right, you can see middle part in your eye. Okay, and you name the y-axis. Then I plot the x-axis. How to plot the x-axis? Right, see how to plot the x-axis. You look into the opposition y coordinates. Y are running up to the +9, so no negative coordinates, but you can mark at least 1, 2 negative coordinate, but all are positive. Then how you plot the x-axis? The positive sides you should have more space. So I plot here having the top parts 9 should be there, bottom nothing, but you know 13 is the maximum you can run. So you can plot the x-axis at bottom sides. මේවා මෙහිම්මම කරන්න ළමයි, නැත්තම් මොකද වෙන්නේ? ළමයි ඕවා කිසිම දෙයක් බලන්නේ නැහැ. සමහරුන්ට මේ ඉගෙන ගන්න ලැබෙන්නේත් නැහැ. right? ඒතකොට මොකද එයාලා කරන්නේ? ඔහි හිතන විදිහකට ඇක්සස් ගහලා මේකෙන් ඔක්කොම ලකුණු කරන් යනකොට ඉඩමදි. මෙතෙන්ට යනකොට 7. අනිත් ටික සමහර ඩෙස් එකේ මාක් කරනවා. හරි. එතකොට මොකද වෙන්නේ? මේක ඉඩමදි. ආයේ මේ ඇක්සස් මකනවා. ආයේ මේව මකන්න ඕනේ. මකපු ගමන් අරව යටින් අර බං කිව්ව ෆුල් ඩම් එක දාලා මේවා ලියන්නේ. ලියපු ගමන් අරව ඇතුළේ ඒවා මැක්වට යන්නේ නැහැ. තදට මකපු ගමන් කොලේ ඉදිලා යනවා. හරි, ඒ නිසා ඔය වැඩ වෙනවා විභාගවලදී. ඒ නිසා හරියට මේ කියන ස්ටෙප්ස් ෆලෝ කරන්න ආයෙ වර්ධින්නේ නැහැ. හරි, ඒ නිසා මේ විදිහටම යන්න. one shot අපි කියන්නේ අපි වැඩක් කරනකොට ඒක ටිකක් වෙලාව ගත්තර කමක් නැහැ. හැබැයි දෙතුන් පාර කරන්න තියන්න එපා. එතකොට ආයෙ අත් තියන්න ඕනේ නැහැ මේක. එකපාරයි ලයින්ස් අඳින්නේ. ආයෙ මකන්න දඟලන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. කියන්නේ හැම වැඩකටම අපි යනකොට ප්ලෑන් එකක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ අපේ ඔළුවේ. හදිස්සියලා ඉක්මනට සමහරු මැදින් ගහනවා. සමහරු කියලා දෙන්නෙත් මෙහෙම මැදින් ගහන්න මේක මැදින් ගහන්න. බලාගෙන යද්දි මෙහෙට ඊට ඕනෑවට වඩා වැඩි මෙහෙට ඊට අඩුයි. රයිට් ග්‍රාෆ් එකේ ඔක්කොම කෝඩිනේට් ටික මාක් කරලා මෙතෙන්ට යනකොට පේනවා මේ ඔක්කොම මාක් කරලා ඉවරලා මෙතෙන්ට යනකොට මදි වෙනවා 7. සමහර මොකද දන්නවද ඉතුරු කරන්නේ? ගියා 7 නේ. මෙහෙම ගියේ right. 10ට යනකම් යන්න ඕනේ. ගැහුවා ළඟ නමනවා 8 9 10 right. දුන්න වැඩේ හරි ෂේප් කරා. දැන් same distance තියනවද? නෑ. කෙලින්ම graph එක වැරදි. එහෙම තමයි කරන්නේ. ඊට මදි වෙච්ච ගමන් ළඟ නමනවා. දැන් 10 square ගියේ 10 square 1 units ගියේ. දැන් කෙලින්ම 5 square වලට බහිනවා. මොකද ඊට මදිනේ. මොකද ආය කම්මැලි මේක ඔක්කොම මගලා මේවා කරන්න ඕකයි වෙන්නේ. හරි. ඒ නිසා හරියටම මේ ඔය points ඉගෙන ගන්න. right. එතකොට වරදින්නේ නැහැ. මම හරියටම ආයේ මේ graph lesson එක තියෙනවා grade 11 වලත්. Right. Now we plot the coordinates. So now I calibrate the axis. Calibrate. So x coordinate I see there. Here put 0 and 10 square 1 unit. From 0 you have to start. සමහරු කරන වැරදි මෙහෙන් start කරගෙන එනවා 2 by 2 එනවා මෙතෙන්ට එක කොටුවක් හිටිනවා. Right. වැරදි right. නිසා from 0 go to the terminal. From 0 go to the top and bottom in this way. Right, 0 here you have to 1 10 square 1 1 2 3 make I additionally more 1. So -1 -2 -3 -4. Right, here x-axis and then y-axis up to maximum 9. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. 1 and you are writing left side of the y-axis 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, then here negative sides -1. Okay, that is fine. Right, this is calibrated now done. Now you can see that you can plot the above coordinate within the graph itself. Right, now check how to plot it. X -3, this is the coordinate. X -3, y +9. The coordinate is -3, -9. Here -2, +4. Here -1, +1. Here 0, 0. And here 1, 1. Here 2, 4. And here 3, 9. Now plot the coordinates. -3, +9. X -3, y +9. So you have the grid line. I do not have this one. Cross mark and bit encircle it. Then -2, +4. -2, +4. This is the coordinate. Then -1, +1. This is the coordinate. Then 0, 0. Then 1, 1. And then 2, 4. And then 3, 9. Okay, so these are the coordinates. Okay, now you can connect these points by freehand. How you do it? Freehand you can connect, but I give you a trick, but that is not actually the formal instruction, right? But in the instruction is you have to do it by
I can't hear you.
right. Okay, right. So as I mentioned,
Sir, can't hear you again.
Okay, I think now it's okay. Right. Okay, now what you can do, the official instruction, you have to use manual freehand and using the smooth curve. But remember, these are the two far away points. These are the two far away points. When you have 2 points far away, right, two long distance points, if you connect freehand or the straight line, that wouldn't be much difference appear. Okay, then here this is my trick. So what I do, I connect these 2 points only, so that is not allowed other points. These far away 2 points I connect using a ruler, and here also these far away points I connect using a ruler. See there, but others not allowed, and he also not allowed officially, but I can use it and I will do. See there, then I can connect these by smoothly without any break the graph. මේක එක කැඩෙන්න බෑ කොහෙන්වත්. මෙතනින් වෙනම කැඩිලා පේන්න බෑ. අර එන විදිහටම ඉන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට ඔයාලට පුළුවන් මේ graph sheet එක මේ අතට හරව ගන්නවා. points ටික mark කරලා මෙහෙම හරවගෙන connect කරන්න. ඒතර මෙන්න මේ ටික දැන් මේ ආපු විදිහටම මේ line එකේ උඩට ගිහිල්ලා පොඩ්ඩක් right එතන ඉඳන් ඇඳගෙන එනවා මෙහෙම. මෙන්න ඇවිල්ලා මෙතනින් මෙහෙම ස්මූත්ලි නැමෙනවා. මෙහෙම ඇවිල්ලා මෙතනින් මෙහෙම නැමෙනවා. right මෙහෙම එනවා. දැන් ආයෙ මෙතනින් මෙහෙම මේ උඩ ඉඳලා එනවා වගේ ඉන්න ඕනේ මෙහෙම. එන්න මෙහෙම අපිට graph එක එනවා. මේකේ smooth curve එක මෙහෙම ගන්න ඕන පුතා. right, so obtaining smooth curve. දැන් මෙතන පොඩ්ඩක් ඒකට පැනලා වගේ පේනවා පොඩි. right, neat එකට තියෙන්න ඕනේ මෙහෙම. okay, so then you write on the graph itself the equation y equal x squared. This is how you draw the graph. This is called the parabola shapes. So you have to draw this way. Right, and the Ganapata, everyone, any questions you can ask.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, අපිට pen එකක් පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්ද mark කරද්දීම points ටික?
බෑ. බෑ වැදගත්ම කාරණේ මේ මට ඒක කියන්නත් බැරි වුණා මේ පැන්සල විතරමයි ගන්නේ එකම දෙයකටවත් right මේ point එකක්වත් මේ equation එකක්වත් xy වත් කිසිම දෙයක් graph sheet එකේ ලියන්නේ නැහැ පෑනේ හරි පැන්සල විතරමයි
Okay, sir. Thank you.
right okay right we have seen the Putta Tarsha right you mark by pencil or pen I feel that y-axis by pen that points by pen right don't use pen now right everyone shall write using pencil yes must do it by pencil because imagine that you got any point mistakenly then how you erase it so you know that all paper they provide us the graph paper right so one graph paper is provided so we have to be careful and do it in a way that without any mistakes මේක මම අර කිව්වේ මකලා මේවා වුණොත් මේ ඇතුළේ ඉලක්කම් පේනවා එතකොට මේක කනෙක්ට් කරද්දී හරි කැතයි right පල්ලහැව පේනවා ඊට වඩා මම පෙන්නන්න ළමයි අඳපු graph හරි quality එකට අඳින්න ඕනේ හරි right finish doing right right එතකොට මේ සතියේ මම මෙහෙම වැඩක් කරනවා graph incomplete point table හතරක් විතර මම දානවා group එකට එතකොට ඒකේ graph ටික ඔයාලා ඇඳගෙන ඉන්න ඕනේ right now you know how to draw the graph I will drop a PDF of incomplete point table to the group then you have to draw the graph at home for the next class then just we need to discuss the question only okay then by next week we can complete the graph session okay so I will share that PDF the drawing graph part in the book graph book those who do not have the graph book take graph book and draw this graph at home okay so that is the procedure of drawing the graph then we have the sub questions that been asked that's the important part of the graph lesson okay Putta so I will conclude the session today and so we will meet with the paper class by next Monday and with the theory class by next Tuesday so the all the link and the materials being uploaded to the website from today onwards okay thank you very much Putta. Have a nice day
Goodbye, sir.
Thank you, sir. Goodbye.